Democrats have successfully funded the government at levels requested by President Biden in order to meet the needs of the American people in terms of their health, safety, and economic well-being. House Democrats have successfully fought for families, farmers, first responders, and the future of working class Americans. House Democrats have successfully fought for $100 billion in disaster assistance in order to make sure that those everyday Americans whose lives have been turned upside down in terms of hurricanes, storms, tornadoes, wildfires, floods, and other extreme weather events can get the assistance that they need to address the problems they've been confronting. House Democrats have successfully stopped extreme MAGA Republicans from shutting down the government, crashing the economy, and hurting working class Americans all across the land. House Democrats have successfully stopped the Billionaire Boys Club, which wanted a $4 trillion blank check, by suspending the debt ceiling in order to enable them to cut Social Security, cut Medicare, and cut nutritional assistance while providing massive tax breaks for the wealthy, the well-off, and the well-connected.
Talking about politics coming from a view of the streets, you know what I'm saying? We're not coming from a professional view. We're not lawyers, none of that shit that's on TV. You know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood. We the hood people, you know? Representation of black people, period, on the bench, because we don't know who Clarence Thomas is representing. He's sitting on a Supreme Court, sitting on a bench, smelling like cocoa butter. You know?
2, 3, 4, 5. We live. Lord mercy. Welcome to Hood View Politics. We're going to a deep, detailed dive of politics from a hood point of view. I'm Rabbit Jones.
I'm Tony, the #1 soul brother, and welcome to the Hood View Politics Friday night live stream. We got a few things we gonna talk about and discuss, and see can we get y'all straight on a few things. You know what I'm saying?
Now, if you're new here, you don't know what to expect. But if you've been here before, you know what's going on here. We're chasing MAGAs and coons. MAGAs and coons. Don't forget about your Puerto Ricans too. We after you. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Yep.
Appreciate everybody take the time out to tune in. Check your boys out. We appreciate y'all a whole lot. Take your time, like, subscribe. We appreciate that a whole lot. It go a longer way for us than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Now, so we appreciate y'all. Now, let's get into some things here. Now, we just heard from Hakeem Jeffries, right? Now, the whole time he named a few. First of all, him getting out and trying to frame it as the billionaires club try to shut the government down, and we preserved it, continued it, and fought for certain farmers' rights, farmers' subsidies and stuff for the storms and hurricanes and stuff like that. So they got that in the joint, which they had in it before, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Elon Musk and Donald told him don't do nothing. They don't want nothing. Let it all just fall off and shut down. So he didn't get what he wanted. Is that a win? Hakeem says a win.
A win for who?
Hakeem said
If it was a win for the Democrats, I can see it because it's a loss for Trump. It already showed. It's showing already there's cracks in motherfucking MAGA world. because he wanted to raise or eliminate the debt ceiling. That didn't happen. Nothing that Trump wanted, that him and basically nothing that Elon wanted, that him and Trump fucked the original bill up for, he got. So it's a loss for them. Now, if you just voted down a bill 24 hours ago and 24 hours later, you didn't got something else through that done passed. Mind you, that Republicans, this bill that passed tonight, only Republicans negotiated or voted on it, as my understanding. That's what the reporting was about 2 hours ago. So that mean if Democrats pulled it across the line, that means Democrats got what they wanted. So it was a win for them and a win for the American people. But it ain't gonna frame it that way, because they're gonna try to say that they got whatever they wanted, they did this, that, and the third. But it's basically they went back to the original bill that was gonna pass 2 days ago, before Elon started running his mouth and lying about shit that he didn't know nothing about. And
so everybody can understand, the limit is, let's say your credit card, for example. Your credit card limit is 500, and you already maxed out. You had 490 something, right? You're already there. So now your thing is to pay that down. That's where we at now. Yeah. Sign the bill to pay that, right? So what Donald wanted to do was raise your limit to 1,000 while you still had a debt. So you had a debt, but you still got enough room up. Now you got 1,000. And what he was going to do with that 1,000, the extra 500, what he's going to do with that is give it to his friends in them.
Yeah.
Simple. So what the Democrats did was put a halt to their major plan was to raise the limit up so they can spend it more, right. Spend more. So when he get inaugurated, they can run it and get the tax cuts to the millionaires. They can do maybe immigration that will fuck the joint up and order tariffs. So he won't prepare for all that by raising it way up so he can spend like a motherfucker.
Yeah. See, what it is raising the debt ceiling doesn't do nothing but unlock the power to borrow more money, and therefore you'll owe more money out. So you can go to China, you can go to Russia, you can go to whoever got the money that you want and is willing to lend it to you. You can get that money. You can get more money. What he need the money for is what you were saying. Look, mass immigration costs. He's going to need the money from somewhere. It costs, because you're gonna have to pay to hire more agents in all levels of law enforcement to get this done, especially immigration, INS, and all this shit. You need money to build and maintain facilities and open up facilities that's been closed down to house these people that you want to take out the street. So you need money from somewhere. All the while you want to you promise to give the 1% a tax break, and on top of that, make them tax breaks permanent. So you need money to do that. So he just trying to lay the groundwork of, boom, I got all this shit to do. I need to get this money. So, but he want this shit done on Biden's watch, which is not going to happen. So he can always go back and say, oh, the deficit got fucked up because of something Biden did or something but Biden signed off on, which ain't nobody going on, and which he wasn't going to get it anyway. Because you got to look at it this way. You still got some real conservatives out there, some real conservatives who believe in smaller government, who believe that the government shouldn't be spending money all willy-nilly. That's according to how they define willy-nilly. So you got real live conservative Republicans that will never vote to raise the debt ceiling. You got conservative Democrats who will never vote to raise the debt ceiling. Because if you raise it, it's too tempting for a motherfucker like Trump to go out, borrow money from who the fuck ever. So he wasn't going to get that. So it's a loss for them. It's a loss for him and Elon, or Elon and Trump, because you jumped out there with something that you're not understanding, and now you look stupid. And it's showing that there is at least this thing is a difference of opinion within the party. Because for you to fuck it up, then for 24 hours later, right before the deadline to shut the government down, you get a deal done with most of whatever was in there is still in there. That's why Hakeem Jeffrey said, yeah, it's a victory, because you still got what you wanted. But you didn't get that 190 million for, they still managed to keep that 190 million for childhood cancer research and care out of it. So it's a loss there. But you'll get that back on another bill at some point, because like they say, you're going to need Democrats to pass anything significant, especially anything that needs 60 votes. Democrats gonna get what the fuck they want out of it, or fuck it. You can call them a do nothing Congress, because then I know that they shutting down the wild shit that y'all trying to do.
Yeah, this right here really points out the difference between the parties of the break, because it just shows you where everybody priorities at. Period. Mm-hmm. So they come in, they're more priority driven towards changing the wealth gap, taking money from here and swinging it back to millionaires and billionaires and shit. That's their whole goal. No matter what it is they do, is that for that.
Yeah.
And that's what all his friends benefit from. He put them all in the cabinets and all that good shit. They all about to live up real good on all y'all taxpayer money. And what they're gonna do is cut as much shit that motherfucking Democrats are allowing to cut. Again, yeah, it'd be the Democrats that's gonna be saving some of this shit. But Democrat Party is the party that y'all want to keep talking shit about. That's hard for me to understand. But as you go along now, you're gonna realize who fight for what. And it's up to them to let people know what are they stopping, when they stopping it, and why they stopping it. You know what I'm saying? So as these years go on, they got a lot of work to do, especially what he just did there. That's the first step. Keep doing that. Be the first one out. Come out. Because all was going to happen is MAGA Mike was going to come out and start giving some motherfucking talking points from Orange Neck Demon. So that was a good motherfucking jumping off point for we go into the new year. So that was good and smart. I appreciate that. That one thing out of the whole thing. So long as he jumping on that thing on point to start the narrative. See, from there, people got the motherfucking, from there, people like the Democrats down have to take it from there and use it. That's why you need that leader. He need to start off now, because right now it's like a gap. So when the year come around, January, February, then he can leave it up to either one of these people that's whoever, governors, whoever, gonna step up and take it from him. You know what I'm saying? So right now, to start the new year off, he doing what's perfect. First, he made sure they fought for whatever fuck they needed to make sure they don't do what they need to do there. So he made sure of that, and he left it out with a talking point before he left. So all that was good.
Yeah, I said a couple nights ago, he doing what he's supposed to do. He doing what he's supposed to do, because on the for real, that after the transition, well, even before the transition, once the new Congress, because the new Congress will be in a matter of weeks. New Congress will be in way before Trump take office. So he's it. He's him and who's on the other side? Schumer. They're it. They're the top two Democrats right now. They're the top two Democrats until you get a third top Democrat that's going to be in the form of whoever's at the head of the DNC. Them would be your top three. them is where the plays is coming from. Them gonna be the ones that get out there that you're gonna see all the time, especially Hakeem Jeffries, because everything starts in the House. I don't give a fuck who idea it was. It could be the president's idea. It could be a senator's idea. It always going to go back and start. It always going to go back to the House, because you can't go nowhere till it comes out of the House, because the House controls the money. Plain and simple. The House controls the money. So he is always going to be, every day you're going to see this man damn near every day out front of the cameras with a back and forth on somebody. They're going to, Keith Jeffries is slowing down progress. He's holding up. Him and the do nothing Democrats, they ain't trying to compromise on nothing. You're going to hear a lot of that. And that's good, because you know he's doing his job. And he's fighting him, and the Republicans in Congress is fighting back on him. So we know he's gonna be out there, and he doing right by jumping out there right now. They gave you an issue, because they wouldn't have had it. Democrats really wouldn't have had an issue if this would have just went ahead and went through 2 days ago. Democrats would have then came out and say, well, you know, we're fighting for the American people. We got something passed that'll keep the government open till March, because you're not, everything that's in this shit was shit that been going on for the last couple of years anyway, because every time you turn around, it's like, man, we ain't shut the government down. And nobody wants to shut the government down now. At this time of year, hell no, you're not shutting it down. Ain't nobody want to come close to taking any kind of blame. No, you're not shutting the government down right now. But I'm glad he out there, and who's going to follow suit? Because the other one that I've seen is he's out there. Jasmine Crockett is out there. Buttigieg been all over the place. He been like, but I ain't seen him lately. Like he on vacation. So you got people that's out there, or that's willing to jump out there and will jump out there. And like you say, it's a good thing right now. So just keep on keeping on, because this is gonna be a fight. So you got to have some motherfucking fighters out there, because this is gonna be a knockdown, drag out fight for the next, especially for the next 2 years, and possibly for the next 4 years. It might get ease up after 2, but right now, for the next 4 years, it's gonna be knockdown, drag out. So you're gonna have to have some bruises out there.
Now, the real good thing that come out of the ending of this is, everybody don't know, he put in a lot of judges all over the place, especially the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, and plus he gonna have a shot now to put 3 more on there. So 1 extra, where he gonna change 2 out, make them younger, which is the same thing.
Yeah.
And at this point, I think Biden was at 190 something, but he gonna end now at the end with 235 judges, with a record number of black judges, a record number of black women judges. And that's the type of stuff that's going on under the radar, that when motherfuckers tell me that Biden is racist, whatever the fuck, I just don't be feeling none of that. Because when he in his presidency, when he in his term, he gonna done more for the black community than any president besides, you know, the extra important joints. But over our lifetime, him, Clinton, Bush, Obama, none of them have done more for the black community than him. And then it ended all off with the most judges, black judges. And they're just not any old black judges. These be civil rights judges, civil rights attorneys. So it was a plan, and some of this is coming from having a black lady in there with you. A black lady that's from HBCUs. I bet you tons of them come from people she connected to and know. Because we know he don't know no black judges. So for him to jump out there and do the 9, 10, 11 things that he done is concrete for our community is just crazy, bro.
I mean, look, as far as that shit go with Biden being racist, I don't even know why people feeling into that shit anyway. If dude racist, he the worst racist I ever seen in my life. He need to go back to racist 101 and start all over again. He consciously. This one thing about Biden. I don't give a fuck what the situation is or who the group of people is. If it's workers, if it's union people, if it's people of color. The one thing about Biden is he spent a large part of his career trying to right what is wrong or what he views as wrong and what a lot of people views as wrong, whether it's on student loan debt, whether it's on strengthening the middle class. You can say what you want, but the people who've been marginalized in this country, that dude over his whole career have fought for him. He might not have been the most articulate. He might have had a slip of the tongue at a time at a time or two, but you can never say that he didn't fight for the people that's been marginalized in this country. So when they talk about that shit about he a racist and all that shit, I don't feed into that shit.
So he appointed 235 judges in his tenure. 233 of appointees were people of color. I need everybody to think about that for a minute. He appointed 235 judges, including Supreme Court, one of those, a black lady. 233 appointees are people of color. Now, this will happen normally on the other side where somebody like Donald Trump is going to put 92% white people on the joint, and nobody going to blink an eye. Now ain't gonna think about it. It's normal, right? But when you do this, that means you took the time out to do something like this. Was what you wanted to do. This was something on your list. This is not just getting judges. This specifically making sure they colored. Yeah, specifically making sure they women. That's why I always said I got respect for everything he done legislatively and politically, but campaign wise, politically, he's a disaster. Running the government, passing bills and doing that type of shit, A1. I can't deny nothing. To giving billions to black farmers, billions to HBCUs, the Black Supreme Court, 240 fucking black judges all over America now. Just that alone. I ain't getting into things, the other shit he done. Just crazy.
That's what he been about his whole career. He been about leveling the playing field, making it easy, making sure everybody got the same opportunities, that you can't use your money, your power, or whatever to hold somebody else down. But that ain't what Trump and the other side is about. It's about, we got the money, we got the power now, we can flex, we can do what the fuck we want. We got a vision of how we want shit to go. That's how shit going to go. We don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck what they destroy. Because at the end of the day, no matter how bad shit is, when they leave, they still gonna be all right. See, people don't understand that shit. Like, that 190 million or whatever it was for the cancer research in children, Elon Musk can write that check tonight and he would not miss the money. So why do he care? It ain't about it. He don't give a fuck. It ain't about the money or whatever. It's about he got the power. It's something he don't like, and and that 190 million they think will be better served and put to better use by they buddies, by they rich buddies, instead of investing in people. They don't give a fuck about people. They never gave a fuck about people. Because if they did, they wouldn't do half the shit that they do. If they gave a fuck about people, they wouldn't have people right now, Latino people that is, or as they slipped up and said the other day, Chinese people too. They wouldn't have these people running scared, wondering when the people coming to their jobs, their homes, their communities, to boot them out the country. They wouldn't give a fuck about that. All the industries that these people work in, you fucking up the supply chain. They don't give a fuck about that. They don't give a fuck about if you get your oranges, if you get your fruit, if you get your tomatoes. They don't give a fuck about that. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck if you got meat in the stores or whatever the fuck. You know why? Because it don't bother them. Wherever they go and whatever they want, they go and get, no matter what the price is. It don't hurt them, but it hurts the average person out here. But they don't give a fuck about the average person. But it was the average person that put these motherfuckers in there thinking that you was going to get something or get ahead, and you was going to get something that black people wasn't. That's what you thought. You thought you were in bed with us for so long, you thought you could actually get out of bed with us, jump in bed with them, and they would accept you. They showed you, we don't accept you, we don't want you, we don't give a fuck about you. The only thing we give a fuck about is your vote. Now you know why gerrymandering, redlining, voter ID laws, all of this shit that they be trying to do. Now you know what it's for. They just showed you. They did all of that when they couldn't take your vote and stop you from voting. What did they do? They straight up lied to you, told you everything you wanted to hear. They caused division. They got your vote, and the next day, what did they tell you? And you don't have to believe me, because you can go on YouTube, anywhere on the internet. You can go and pull this shit up anywhere. They told you the day after, fuck you. You're not welcome here. You're not one of us. You will never be one of us. We just wanted your vote. Kick rocks. That's what they told you. So should anybody be surprised at what's going to happen?
So I do want to thank Biden before he leave for all the thing I just named, the whole list of things that went over. I do appreciate him for doing that. You know what I'm saying, dog? Even though in the end he was a disaster, but all everything he did for us is going to go down in history for sure.
Yeah, disagree with the campaign thing, but
no, no
he did right.
Disagree with that. That's just clownery if you disagree with that.
Oh, you called me a clown?
That's clownery. If you
You said
disagree
it's
with
clownery?
He fucked this campaign up at this point. Bro.
I believe
like you just
people
over,
helped him
over the top now.
Fucked it up.
Now we over the top. It's real clear to everybody.
That's
he
what
fucked
you
this
know.
up.
Real clear to you.
No, everybody. It's clear to everybody now
Ain't
that
clear
either
to
he
me.
should have got out earlier or never got the fuck out.
That's what I said.
Real simple.
He should have never got the
Not
fuck
what
out.
he did. That ain't an option.
I think he should have never got the fuck out.
All right. Not wait till
I
a month and a half to get the fuck out. That was dumb shit.
That.
But other than that,
Ew.
everything he did in there, I can't deny. I love
You can't.
all the black
Look,
issues he took care of. You know what I'm saying, dog? But that's some things people got to notice when these people be in there, when they leave, or when the narrative be such and such. You got to know exactly what was done. And a lot was done while he was here.
I'd be like,
So-
you're going to miss me when I'm gone.
You definitely going that was a lot, you know. Now you probably get in a swing where you're going to get a lot of money geared towards white supremacist groups and some shit like that. But hey, that's what y'all voted for. You know what I'm saying, dog? And you talking about letting out the January 6th motherfuckers. on top of that, like, bro, this shit just at some point, you know, some people gonna have to wake the fuck up over in that MAGA land. Now, it be so much going on, bro. From getting rid of my baby Fanny, I'm still mad about that too. You know what I'm saying? To the bitch saying she lied about the lacrosse motherfuckers, I still don't believe that. But that's another thing. To Bernie Sanders jumping out, acting like, you know what I'm saying, bro? To each and every one of these MAGA black fools out here. So now we got to do a new segment for these bitch niggas. You know? Now, this is going to be a new segment right here. Let my man right here explain this to you. That we're going to be doing at this point in time in these up and coming podcasts. You know what I'm saying, Doc?
See, something just hit me today, and I was thinking about these two Sambos, these two John jockeys, and I'm gonna give you my definition of the Sambo of the week. It is that buck shuffling, smile up in their face, deny yourself, deny your people, deny your blackness, to do everything to kiss up to the white man's ass, to entertain the white dude, to tell him what he want to hear, while downgrading your own people. These are Sambos. You dig what I'm saying? These are these are people, you know, you need to be pointed out. And the two, well, I was looking for one when I thought of this, but these two is linked. And there's a third one in there too, but the third one, he ruined his own career. But these two, Tim Scott and Byron Donaldson.
We will make America great again.
Those are my two and first inaugural Sambos of the week. Because what did you do? You came out doing this whole campaign. First, you promised this guy, or you rolled up on this guy like you can deliver the black vote. But what did you do? Did you visit the black community? No, you didn't. You had fake ass barbershop roundtables.
Kunta Kinte.
You lied. You try to play on our emotions, but you can't play on our emotions because we can't have no feelings for you unless we know you. We don't know you. That is the problem. See, we can have feelings for somebody like Kamala Harris because we know Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is in this fight with us. But you can't be on the other side, buck shuffling and cooning to Donald Trump to try to get a position somewhere. And then at the end of the day, you don't get jack shit. So now you ass out all the way around. So these two, they did all kind of coonish shit. They didn't kowtow, bow down, kiss the ass, hugged his nuts, did everything. And at the end of the day, when the cabinet positions was passed out, you got nothing. When his advisors, positioned as advisors, or his White House staff was, when those positions was passed out, you got nothing. You ain't even got a visit. We ain't even seen y'all on a visit to to Mar-a-Lago since he been in there. Have Tim Scott,
That nigga don't fuck with them.
has Tim Scott or Byron Donaldson been to Mar-a-Lago since since the election? I haven't seen it. It may have happened. If it has happened, somebody pointed out. Because I ain't seen it.
Byron Donald started to make me think he was a drifter that was just doing shit on his own, trying to make Master proud.
He was.
I think only
He
thing
was.
this nigga even know this class.
He was. But
Remember, what's his lawyer name that got locked up? He said he was just doing stuff to impress him.
Yeah.
What's the motherfucker? He be on MSNBC now sometimes. That motherfucker. God damn. The first lawyer. He said back then, Trump would never really say anything, but you would do it yourself to impress him. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what Byron Donald did. I don't think Byron Donald was told to do none of this shit.
Tim Scott got to the point. He got to the point
like, see me,
that he went out and found a white woman.
Yep.
To marry.
That.
That popped up out of nowhere. She just popped up out of nowhere. You never seen this fool.
That's what he's trying to be vice president. Yeah, he's trying to be the vice president.
Yeah, I told you it ain't happening. He ain't got the complexion, to be vice president for them.
He grabbed that white lady.
He grabbed that white woman and thought, oh no, well, you thought
it was better than not having one because then you look gay.
Okay, then explain that to Lindsey Graham.
It's just better than man, his nigga ain't running for no presidents out there.
But he had the same issue,
Yeah, they did say that about him.
But look,
not now. He old shit. Now you think about that shit, man.
It's one thing. It's one thing to get out there and campaign on what you believe in. If you believe in these things, I don't have no problem with them. I don't have a problem with you being a conservative. If you say, well, I think that the government spends too much money, I think they should dial it back. If you say that you think that the government is too big and that the government should be small and we should consolidate things and save money that way, I can live with you saying that. I don't have to agree with it, but I respect it. If you think that our military, we should spend more on our military than every other country in this world, and that's including everybody that y'all think can beat our ass, including Russia. We spend more. What all of them countries spend together is a drop in the bucket what the United States spends on military. If you believe that, we can disagree. We can talk about it. We can disagree. I ain't got no problem with that. If you want to talk about entitlements, if you think everybody should get health care or not, we can disagree. We can talk about it. But when you get out there and you want to down talk black people, you want to act like you ain't black, but you only want to be black when you want to go from the cotton field to Congress. Other than that, you ain't never mentioned shit about a goddamn cotton field. Never. Where you find that white rifle at? The cotton field? No. You found it at the country club. So kick rocks with that. So these are the qualifications of Sambo of the week. And we got a motherfucking long list because this could go on. This segment could go on forever. Because there's a lot of Sambos out there.
It's a long list.
Yeah.
But both of them made an ass of themselves. All of them, really.
Yeah.
I was just getting a real feeling that I don't think he was even in a loop now. I'm starting to think either one of these two black motherfuckers were actually on the team. They was around sniffing their asses, doing things to be seen.
Of course.
That's what I'm starting to think now.
They was trying to get somewhere. They was trying to jump in a car.
For example, the barbershop shit.
Yeah.
Remember we was like, how the fuck? What he had? What's the name there? The HUD secretary dude.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Who? The one now?
No. Yeah, right now. Yeah.
I don't even know his name. I don't even know who the fuck.
The one he had for Trump.
Oh, you talking about Ben Carson?
Remember, we was watching that barbershop joint, and all of a sudden Ben Carson was there.
Yeah.
It was like, this nigga ain't talked the whole. Why he here?
Nah.
Wanna know why he there? Because that's the only person he fucks with for real. These other people, he don't know these fools, and they probably hit him with some. Hey, I'm gonna do a barbershop thing. Like, know what? Send Ben down there because I ain't got time.
That's just like the thing of the black church.
These fools is.
Yeah, just like the thing of the black church. And let me explain something to you.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm starting to think these people was just doing shit.
When you
trying to impress the orange neck demon.
When you go to a black church and you look out and you don't see no black people in the audience. That tells you right then and there it was a setup. Because one thing the pastor can do, the pastor can get his people to come out if it's for a good cause and if it's something that the congregation believes in or someone that the congregation believes in. Like I remember I was a member of one of the biggest churches here in Maryland, First Baptist Church of Glenard. So I was sitting in one of the top seats. I was up top because it's a very big church. And it was one Sunday morning, and up pop Pastor Jenkins introduced the congregation to Senator at the time. Who was your rep? I think she was Senator Barbara Mikulski. This was way before she retired. And she got up. They asked her to stand up. And they gave her a very rousing, respectful, and rousing round of applause. That's how you do it. You go up in there, and if you'll get respect, but you can't just bus in 9 bus loads of white people with MAGA hats sitting in a black church, and you think we ain't gonna notice it's a fraud. You're not gonna do this little barbershop thing, and we gonna look at who's in there and realize that it's a fraud. That was the thing. Y'all was doing shit that, look, we know a fraud when we see one. That was my whole issue with, especially Tim Scott. We know a fraud when we see one. You're not going to come to us all of a sudden just because you got black skin and think you can tell us anything. We are smart enough to know that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. That's what you should have learned before you start running around with Trump. And now you two dummies, you has no home because the party as it is don't want you because you went MAGA. So by all that Trump butt kissing, a real conservative Republican ain't really gonna fuck with you. If you think people on the other side gonna deal with you, that bridge is burnt. So for all this clownery, that clown shit, this coonery, this butt kissing, this buck shuffling, this tap dancing, and all you shit you did to get something out of Trump, you got nothing. You got nothing. And the fuck up thing about it was, it was brought up. It's brought up on cable news, TV, all the time. Damn, where's Tim Scott? Where's Byron Donaldson? Where's all these people, all these black people that jumped out there and thought that you really had a chance to get something significant in this administration when he showed you in the last administration, when he only had one black guy in his whole cabinet? That was Ben Carson. And that was Secretary of HUD. He did the same thing this administration. He got one black guy. That's the Secretary of HUD. And you best believe they can't do nothing, because if you don't get HUD no financing and you don't give them no money, what can they do? They're going to jump out there and tell you that the neighborhood, the black neighborhoods are fucked up. They're run down. They're full of this, that, and the third. And the crime is this, that, and the third. But to put policies in place to help address that shit and to help low income people to get in a home or purchase a home, which is one of the purposes of HUD. Because I have family members who, through grants from HUD, was able to purchase a home. So it's many purposes to HUD. But with an administration like the one that's coming in, he don't give a fuck about. Low income people getting a home. Don't give a fuck. So y'all just sold y'all people out for nothing, and you got nothing.
And that hood
fuck
shit,
y'all.
He don't give a fuck about that person anyway.
Nah, he don't give a fuck about that.
That's a useless ass joint,
Yeah.
regardless. Now, lately, we've been having a lot of motherfucker appearances from the vice president, and she had a little speech the other day. I don't know where it was at, but she had a speech the other day where she was explaining to people how, where she was addressing. Cause I know one time we had watched this lady on Roller Martin, I think, and she just broke down, was like she just tired of shit like that, right?
Oh, her.
And this is basically what the vice president was saying earlier this week. We're gonna tap into that for a minute. This was earlier this week.
America's progress. You all know this one. The story of America's progress, when we have made progress, in many ways is the story of people who stayed true to their ideals, even in the face of difficulty. The story of Americans who, yes, faced disappointment, but did not grow weary. Did not grow weary. Who faced setbacks, but did not give up. People who refused to let the light of America's promise dim or burn out in moments of challenge. The movements for civil rights, women's rights, workers' rights, the United States of America itself would never have come to be if people had given up their cause after a court case or a battle or an election didn't know. Is that in moments like this, the true test of our character is how resilient and persistent we are to pursue the future that we all can see. The true test of our commitment is whether, in the face of an obstacle, do we throw up our hands or do we roll up our sleeves? And as we approach,
now, she always fucking laughs. But that right there was perfect, right? Perfect speech, hit every nail on the button. It's just to let people know, man, everybody get the fact that after the election, you ain't feel the same no more. Everybody get that. That shit happens. Mm-hmm. But what she did was made it clear that we had way bigger fights with a lot more at stake at other periods of time, that we would not be sitting in this cushy lifestyle now if it wasn't for those fights. And none of them gave up. That was a good ass joint right there. See, stuff like that is what I'm talking about, bro. And another thing I'm getting the feeling of, I see a lot of Democrats saying that they don't want her running and all types of shit. But I'm saying now that she running again for multiple reasons. I feel it now because one, I could see her trying to navigate and like you're not gonna tell somebody you can't be letting go, letting down, and give up, and then you don't run. That don't go together. You was put into a race. It ain't like you don't want to be president. You ran before. You was dumped into this race in the last second. So nobody put that even on you. So right now, you had the opportunity to make up for that. Don't give up and keep fighting for that. Now, if you just run around the country telling people not to give up, don't fight, and all that stuff, it's not gonna make sense for you to wake up after January 20th and be like, "Well, see y'all later. I'm gonna be an attorney in Oakland some fucking way." You see what I'm saying? It's like, bitch, you just told us don't give up, don't fight. Where the hell you going? You know what I'm saying? It's like that tells me off the break. She's setting herself up. She is gonna be running again, bro. Period. And there's another reason why I feel like that is if she don't show up at the joint, that ain't happened yet. But this January 20th thing is real huge here. Who shows up and who don't is going to be huge. Huger than I thought it would be. Put it like that. That's what I think.
I think as far as January 20th goes, who shows up and who doesn't show up will be huge. If only if there is something counter to the inauguration. Because if they don't show up and if nothing going on, now if y'all don't show up and it's either like a counter program, or being it's Martin Luther King Day, that a lot of the top people is because it's going to take the top Democrats to do it, to bring their attention to it, and you show up at various Martin Luther King celebrations and bring a crowd out with you, that will mean something, because you'll have it, because it'll show the country and show the world, hey, we ain't with that shit over there. And like yesterday, that led me into yesterday. Yesterday, I took a trip to the National Museum of African American History and Culture. And when I got there, and I got in there, and I noticed something, and the whole time I was in there, it didn't change. I noticed that it was way more white people and way more people of different ethnicities that was visiting, and especially because the way it's set up, they got it set up so slick, and it's real nice, and I like how they did it, because if you start on the bottom, you got to go down and start on the bottom floor. If you want to go through the whole history of black people, you got to start on the bottom level. That's where slavery and how we got to this country. And in the whole day, I noticed they all over the place, they got these big screens set up, and they're playing movies and they're playing documentaries about the history of black people all through there. And I seen there's so many older white people, younger white people. I seen Asian people, Hispanic people, and I'm like, damn. But now, don't get me wrong, it was a rack of black people in there. But this is the history that they want to take out. But if you got somewhere to go get it, they're going to get this history, and they're learning about. They're stopping at big old displays about Malcolm X, Nat Turner. Man, there was some people in there, even as a black person, and I should know these things, but I'm learning things that I didn't know about. So the people are out there, and they want to learn it. But back to January 20th, these are going to be the same people. And it was just like in the civil rights movement, where it wasn't just only black people out there, because best believe it was only black people out there marching the streets in the 50s and 60s. They still be sicking dogs and fire hoses on us to the day. But you had Jewish people, you had white people, Jewish people, you had other ethnicities or minorities up in it too. And that's what it's going to take. Huh?
I seen this in your picture, matter of fact.
Yeah. Oh, I got to walk through. I walked through it. Actually, this would really got me. But this wasn't really what got me. But one of the things that really got to me is they have a segregated bus. They had an actual real live segregated bus in there. And the bus, you can walk through the bus and you can see it. You see the white only bathrooms, the oversized whites only compartments. And as you get to the back of the car that they got it in, they got one car, but you will see where it's like the black only, the raggedy black only water fountain, the black only bathrooms. Look, you can take your bathroom at home and you can take your half bath. Don't even take your full bath. Take your half bath at home, cut it in half, and then cut that in half. That was about the size of them bathrooms for black people on these trains. So look, it's gonna take everybody getting out there and and showing that, MAGA ain't the way we going, and
But
we don't agree with that shit. But January 20th, it's gonna be a motherfucker because they're gonna show their ass down there on the National Mall. You best believe that.
But the only way, like for example, our shopping joint, for example, this is you, for example, he having a counter joint
Right.
to the joint. All you need is Congressional Black Caucus. I don't think none of them gonna go to the inauguration. So we can start with the Congressional Black Caucus, which is going to be it's going to be the loudest, the largest Black Caucus in history. So if we just start just with the Black Caucus going to the joint alone, that alone gives cover for anybody else want to come from there, that point on.
Yeah.
And including Kamala Harris.
But see, what I want to see on January 20th is this. I think I want to see you ain't got if you don't come to the inauguration and you protesting, what are you doing? Not just in this seat, but are you going to appear as something and help bring the people out and say this ain't the way we going in your own home cities with your own constituency, with the people that voted you in? Because they're going to whitewash. The National Mall will be whitewashed on January 20th because I don't even think Black MAGA gonna show up and because they already told them, the motherfuckers, we don't want y'all in there. So we know that Latino MAGA ain't gonna show up because Trump will motherfucking get inaugurated, and they'll start pointing out Latinos. Hey, get this motherfucker right here, get this one here, check your papers right here, check your papers right here, check your papers. So it's gonna be basically white men and whatever white women they allow out the house to come with them. So January 20th is gotta be a day that I say the other side, Democrats and the other side, y'all got to get out there and show the nation and show the world. Look, that might be what they voted for, and that might be what won this time. But look, this is where progress is. If you want control of your bodies, here it is. If Latinos and other immigrants, Latinos, Chinese people, Hispanics, Hispanics, Haitians, whoever, if you've been in this country and you grew up, was born in this country, we are the ones that want to give you a pathway to citizenship. This is the place where you should be, where you need to be. And that's the day, because I'm telling you, they're going to get out there on January 20th and do as Republicans always do. They are going to act like they agree so much with everything Dr. King and his dream stood for, and they cannot stand that man. They detest Dr. Martin Luther King. You know, I've been looking at Roland Martin for a long time. I remember he got on there with Eric Erickson. It was Eric Erickson. When both of them were still doing CNN together. And he told me, he said, I have been in these Republican gatherings, and I heard how they talk about Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. Republicans detest them, and they detest Martin Luther King. They detest Malcolm X. Well, we knew that, and they did anybody. So they're gonna try to co-opt the message and say, yeah, you know, this Martin Luther King's dream. No. So that's the day we got to start to take it back.
Yeah,
right then and there, take it back.
So inauguration day is set. They had their little plans down there. It's going. They not mad this time, so they're not gonna run in the Capitol. So
no, they're not mad.
So they happy now. So nobody on the other side really set up anything massive yet.
No.
Now that's still not till the 20th. Now my man Al Sharpton joint, his joints usually take time for everybody to get to knowing that there's something going on with him. But eventually he gonna start saying it more on his channel and let people know what that's gonna be about. The other thing, eventually is going to grow his legs as it get closer to the 20th, where people are going to want to be involved in that and not involved in other shit. And some people want to try to turn this into an anti-Trump joint.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? So, which is really is, because this is January 20th, bro. It's like this is the birthday of MLK. So y'all gotta realize that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that orange demon.
I think right now you're not hearing really nothing right now, because for one, as far as politics go, the transition, you're in the middle of the transition, you got that blah blah blah. But right now, we're in the midst of the holidays. You got Christmas coming up this week, then a week later you got New Year's. I think after New Year's you're going to hit it's going to really ramp up after the first of the year. And I think it's because not only is national politicians but local politicians, especially here around DC, it's Martin Luther King events everywhere. It's a big parade that go down Martin Luther King Avenue in Southeast, Martin Luther King Highway in Landover, Sea Pleasant and Landover here, and basically every street that's named Martin Luther King in the country, you're gonna get a parade. You're gonna get people out there. But the problem this time is, in this city, that weekend, you're going to basically have a MAGA invasion, because they coming.
So if you live in wherever you live, Louisiana, wherever you live in right now, just know that or Kentucky, Chicago, wherever y'all live at, let you know January 20th is going to be a counter parade,
somewhere
march, and it's going to be our shopping joint. Check it out. Try to find out about more about that information, but be down there because it's going down. You know what I'm saying?
Do like what the Obamas do every MLK Day. They have a national day of service where they get out. They'll work in food banks, soup kitchens. They'll work with the homeless. They work with the youth. They put your time in and your resources to good use to help somebody that day. So there'll be a lot of that going on too.
Yeah. Now, before we get out of here, man, we do appreciate everybody, man, that take the time out to check us out, bro. We appreciate y'all a whole lot. Like, subscribe, take your time out. Check out our live videos. We got live videos. It's loaded up on this joint, almost 400 videos. You can go back and check us out. You know what I'm saying? But before we get out of here, though, we had a school shooting recently, man. And to me, this is like my number one issue, which leads all my issues towards democratic policies. So, school shooting joint. This time it was kind of different. Where it was a female who went up there specifically for two people, but it's still the same. It wasn't just because she didn't turn and shoot at everybody there. It's still the same. people have access to guns. People of all ages got access to guns, automatic weapons. And when you have access to guns, to me, all types of things can happen from that point. Now, the leading cause of death for kids is gun violence. Now, me personally, the fact that the government can go on and on and on without doing anything to stop. I'm not gonna say anything because Democrats do things much as they can do as far as gun violence is concerned. So I do give them that. But nationally, there's not much you can do. You can't get bump stops. You can't take guns out of people's hands that they don't supposed to have them. You can't get automatics off the street. Why not? People got to ask themselves, why not at some point? At some point, why is it so easy for a child to have an automatic weapon and go into his classroom and just shoot up everybody? How do you have access to that? The parents, family, people who have guns have to know they have a responsibility. And if you have a gun, like me growing up, every gun I always had was illegal. I literally never purchased a gun legally a day in my fucking life. Every gun I ever own, are all illegal, some way, shape, or form. And when most people that have access to guns can have them illegally, that starts the problem right there. When this child can shoot that child because you have an automatic in the streets. You have white people leaving their rural states, driving to the city, selling their guns, and going back home. I know when I was 16, I bought an automatic out of a trunk before. White man came around our alley and sold them joints. So I know that shit easy as fuck for a child to just get these joints. And we already know kids got these joints today. Now you got situations where you can make the shit off a fucking computer. So at some point, it has to be a situation where you got to stop this. Period. That's coming from niggas from the streets. Like to me, if you want to know about a car, you ask a mechanic. If you want to know about street shit, you ask street niggas. You get these motherfucking guns on the street. I got plenty of solutions for that. First, lock that white pig up for driving it down here. Second, give them charges for any time they fucking don't know where the fuck their gun at. For every day that they don't know where their gun at, they charge $1,000. If the guns show up and somebody get murdered, they responsible. I guarantee you white motherfuckers lock them guns up then. I guarantee them crackers won't come down here and sell it to our kids then. Second, gun shows. Motherfuckers just go there, in and out of there, like a free throw.
Yep.
Full of guns. Some motherfucking states out here, you can go to Walmart and get a fucking gun.
Yep.
The access and make motherfuckers liable for having one. Period. You have a gun, you should not be mad because they want you to lock your gun up. Why would you be mad at that? Me personally, I don't think the gun should be out, period. It should be locked up the whole time. Till your ass go to the gun range, it should be open once you get to gun range. You go hunting, it only be open till your ass get to the hunting spot. It's closed, locked back up, and taken right back to your safe spot in the house. It should never be no air on your fucking gun, as far as I'm concerned. To me, because that will stop most of it. Second, all motherfucking third, fourth, whatever all motherfucking joints that want to sell you these guns illegally, shut them down. Period. If you want to sell automatics, we will start locking up manufacturers. Anybody that make bullets for automatics. Anybody sell bullets for automatics. Your ass locked up. So go ahead and make the automatic gun if you want. You ain't even put nothing in it. So this is what I'm talking about, bro. You got to get active, proactive on the gun activity, period. Guns got to come off the streets, my streets. When I walk out here, those streets, they have to come off the street. I have a 13-year-old son. I don't want my son mixed up in that shit. Just like I don't want my son pulled over and shot by a dumbass cop. So all that shit is like in one bottle where you have to take care of this shit. You have to, bro. 9 times out of 10, a cop will pull a black kid over. Black kid got an illegal gun, and they ain't shot the fuck up just because he had the gun. When they tell you, you got the Second Amendment. But a black motherfucker with a gun, Second Amendment is a slippery slope. You gotta have boil horns, whistle. Hey, Second Amendment. You gotta let them know before they air your ass out. Mm-hmm. So the Second Amendment shit is just all for crackers any fucking way. So once a nigga got a gun, they got a fucking gun. Period. They about to die, get locked the fuck up, and then they gonna ask you something if you're alive. White people, you can scream the Second Amendment all you want. Y'all can walk around this bitch sometimes. Niggas can't do wild shit like that.
Well,
so it's a lot of things that guns can do, that we can do to get these guns off the streets and out of the hands of dumbasses. It's 6 mental motherfuckers. Take care of mental states. Like this shit. They ain't to do nothing. Come on, bro.
But, well, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but the long and the short of that to me is you got to want to do something. If you got one side that don't want to do nothing for whatever, they don't care. They don't care that guns are the number one killer of kids in this country. They don't care. If they don't give a fuck about that, you know, they don't give a fuck about cancer being on the list of killing kids in this country, killing human beings, period. They don't give, they'll tell you that it's wrong for you to abort a life for whatever reason, for you know, a woman to have an abortion, that's murder, whatever the fuck. But they don't have no morals either way, or they don't give a fuck about kids getting shot down in the street.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
We're gonna make we're gonna make sure you come here, but what happens after you come here, we don't give a fuck about. That ain't our business.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be like that, because
once you out there anus, you pull yourself by your bootstraps.
Because what if you can't do nothing about a motherfucker rolling up in an elementary school kid killing 6 or 7 year olds, that's a problem. But you can tell that woman down the street, but if I don't give a fuck if you gonna die or not, you had an abortion, we locking your ass up, and we locking up the doctor. But
I want to say you should lock up motherfuckers that sell. Like y'all, man.
Yeah, but the motherfucker,
you gotta be aggressive like Republicans do, bro.
Yeah, but the motherfucker who gave his kid a AR-15 for Christmas, knowing that he ain't mentally stable.
That's what the governor have to do right now is like ban assault rifles and then lock up whoever sells assault rifle bullets, assault rifles, ammos, shit like that. So any store that sells them, have them on the shelf, shut down. It's simple as that, man. They can get it now. Walmart can throw that bitch out the window.
Oh,
quick.
They already did it when they killed when they motherfucker outlawed Teflon bullets, when they cop killers. Okay, when cops would shoot motherfuckers, it was all right. But when motherfuckers had some that go through their vest and tear cops' ass up, nope, get that shit off the streets. But you can get that off the street, but you mean to tell me you can't get fully automatic weapons off the damn streets?
And for the people that hated the motherfucking crime bill, that banned assault rifles.
Yeah. Whether
y'all knew that or not. Man, and that saved a lot of people's lives.
Half the people that hate the crime bill don't even know what the fuck was in it.
They don't know what was in it. Been demagogue.
All they know is
I like that word, demagogue. I done learned that word. That's a new one. I like that one. It just sounds so good, demagogue. Appreciate, man. We really appreciate everybody to take your time out, man. We're gonna try to step our game up a lot on this live stream, whatever this is, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna try to transition from like our Tuesday and Friday podcasts to more of a news oriented joint when we come on any other time, you know what I'm saying? More spitting the news, you know. But we do appreciate everybody that comes in this joint, man. We trying to hit this thing on an everyday basis if possible. Come in and debate the black debate, you know what I'm saying? Black issues, and make sure our motherfucking folks are informed on a lot of shit out here that involve politics, that touches niggas like us, and niggas like us don't even pay no attention to politics. That's why we here, to connect those two things. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. We get out of this joint.
Hey, y'all take it easy out there. It's almost Christmas time, so we don't want nothing to happen to y'all. Y'all be safe out there. Y'all be cool, and y'all look out for the next episode. We don't know when it's gonna be, but it'll be something. I don't know. But we'll be back at you in peace.
Like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, go on Facebook and join our group. Yeah, we want. As far as the group go, it's some good stuff coming on that Facebook group. So we're gonna be pumping that up real soon.
Follow your boys, man. We trying to grow. Help us grow though. We're trying to get something by the new year.
Yeah,
help us out.
Yeah. Talking about politics coming from a view of the streets, you know what I'm saying, dog? You know, we're not coming from professional view. We're not lawyers, none of that shit that's on TV, you know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood. We the hood people.